Like I'll listen to what the preachers have to say, but it's a pain just having to walk through crowds of people to get to your class.
A bunch of Nazis who are twisting the verses of the Bible to say what they want to say instead of what God says.
My name is Cattell. Preach up at Willard. Been doing it for about 8 years now. 33 years old, have a wife and 3 kids. I don't try to be judgmental. I don't want to judge every little aspect of your life or anything, but I try to judge moral issues. Try to judge moral issues from God's perspective.
Well, he has the freedom to speak, but I don't think he should be speaking. He's obnoxious and he's a male chauvinist. So I think of him.
I think that I don't know, Gary, I suppose you're asking about. I don't know. He's kind of obnoxious when he does his stuff. But I mean, if you actually sit down and talk to him, he's not an awful guy. He's quite intelligent, but he's just. I think he's a little too much. I don't think it's kind of like one of those more flies with honey than vinegar kind of deal. If you're reasonably strong in your beliefs in any way, you're just going to blow him off. I mean, it's that whole born again thing. It's kind of excuse me if I got it right the first time.
I think it's real important that Gary's out here because he's saying a lot of things that aren't commonly said, but a lot of people think about. But I think our society has certain rules, and the rules are that there are certain things that you don't talk about. And what he's talking about are things he's talking about questions that are the most important questions that nobody wants to answer because nobody thinks that there is an answer to them.
Personally, I think that the preachers should keep their opinions to themselves like everyone else does. And I don't think that they should be wandering around screaming and yelling at everyone else.
I'm below poverty level. We live very nicely.
Yeah, well, you're standing
I have a wife and 3 children. We make $8,000 a year. We live very nicely because we're not greedy.
I'm going to show you this. 20%.
I'm one of those 20%, and I live very nicely.
Cultures. You live off everyone else.
And
you live off your employer.
You live in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania. Have you ever been in the slums? Have you ever been in Philadelphia? In Pittsburgh?
I'm telling you that the poverty line is arbitrarily put out there. You can live very well on $8,000 a year.
The poverty line is still based on 1970 calculations.
I make $8,000 a year. I have a wife and 3 kids, and we live very nicely.
If you'd like to come over to my office, I will show you.
Show me what? I'm one of your statistics. I'm one of your statistics.
Look,
I'm under the poverty line, and I live very nicely. Because I'm not greedy, I budget my money right, I spend my money right.
I'd like to see you live in inner city Philadelphia.
Why should I go live in inner city Philadelphia? They don't even want to live there.
This makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it doesn't. You're a bleeding heart liberal with no sense. You come up here trying to tell me that there's all these people under the poverty line. I tell you, I'm one of those people, and I live very nice because I'm responsible with my money.
Because
and
you're not
God,
stuck in a slum. When you're there, it's hard to get out, buddy.
You can get out if you want to.
Takes a lot.
I got saved in August of '82, and there was somebody up here at Willard preaching then, and I'd come up and sit and watch and listen, and God just kept pressing me to do more, So I'd come up, I'd hand out literature, I'd talk to people and so on. And eventually God just told me He wanted me to come up and do it too. So I struggled with it for a little while, and I didn't really want to do it because I saw the abuse that these other people were taking and so on, and that were doing it. But finally, like when God wants you to do something, He'll, even if it's hard to do, it's better to do it than not to do it. I think that most of my influence comes from maybe getting a person from atheism to agnosticism, maybe agnosticism towards acknowledging that Jesus Christ is God, just getting them one step closer, A few people have actually gotten saved. Most people, I'm just trying to get them to think, maybe try to get them one step closer towards Jesus than they were. Ultimately, I'd like to have people to come to Jesus Christ, give their lives to Him, be born again, whatever. But my basic, I can't control results. The only thing I can control is what I do. So I essentially try to teach them the truth, teach them God's way, teach them how to get saved, and the result is between them and God.